Hello, my name is Wade Nemur, and this is Rotary Serving Our Community. Recently, Rotary has added what we call the seventh area of focus, or a specific area where we want to improve the world and improve humanity. This one is sustaining the environment. Recently, I had the opportunity to see one outstanding project. This one was being done in Hawaii, and so I talked my friend Naomi Masuno into joining us for this one. So with that, Naomi, welcome.
Okay, I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Naomi.
Well, born and raised in Hawaii, and I'm a banker by trade. So worked at banks for 35, 40 years.
Wow.
But, Rotary really gave me an opportunity to see what more you can do outside of the business. And so I was always, working hard at the bank. And Rotary just opened my eyes to all the good things that Rotary does.
Great, outstanding. And how long have you been in Rotary?
18 years.
18 years, okay. That's great. And have you enjoyed it all?
Well, yes and no. You got some years, but I'm a banker. So bankers, you need to meet with other people. You can't eat lunch with the same people every week, the old guys sitting at the country club. And so for many years, I did not join, but I finally did because I needed to network. And when I found out about what Rotary does, every layer that you open, you find new things. And it's just an amazing organization that, you just feel so proud to be a part of.
Outstanding. Now, you were a past governor also, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question. You're supposed to have the right answer. Tell us about your Rotary moment. What was that?
Doing projects, some of them are really small and you think they're insignificant, but there was a school in our area that they serviced kids from the housing. And, we did a tutoring thing because they needed to pass their test that year. And when the principal gets on the news on TV and she's thanking Rotary, that's the moment you thought, wow, that little thing that we did that didn't cost any money. And we thought that we didn't do anything, but she's thanking us for what we did. That's the moment you realize that what you do makes a difference for people.
That's great. That's a great story, and I could see that being a Rotary moment, true Rotary moment. So tell us a little bit about this project that you did in Hawaii.
Well, you think that we have a lot of trees and a lot of greenery all around, but no, we still have places where we need to put in a lot of trees, and we need more than 1 million trees to make sure that we can clean the air. So last year, we have a cause-based club. It's the Eco Rotary Club of Kaka'ako. In their strategic plan, they wanted to plant trees. And they were having problems finding a partner where to plant trees. They didn't want us around planting trees. And one organization wanted us to give them $10,000 to plant trees. And then we found this organization that plants, that does reforestation. And so they would get the saplings, grow the seeds, and all we needed to do was come in with the manpower. And so we found this project with the Hawaiian Legacy for Reforestation Group.
Great. And what kind of trees are they planting?
Okay, they research to make sure that where they're planting the trees, these are indigenous trees that will grow. So they do a lot of trees. So although the video has a song about planting koa trees, the place that we are, we did not plant koa trees because koa trees need to be high up altitude, cold. And so here in my background, this is where we planted the trees. Those are mostly Milo, M-I-L-O, Milo trees. That's what grew there before.
Okay. Oh, nice, nice. And pretty outstanding picture behind you. It looks like a lot of work right there. Now, you shared some photos with us. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to jump into some of those and you could talk about them. So
Sure.
let's go to the first one. Here we go. I assume you had these things distributed throughout the location, the local area there?
So our Eco Club designed this flyer, and this is for Oahu, but we actually did the tree planting on all islands. So this one on Oahu, we did the most trees, 9,000 so far. And this was supposed to be for our Rotary Gives Thanks Day that we always do in November. But because of the pandemic, we couldn't do a big project all at once. So although it says November 28th, 2020, we did them over many weekends in small increments of projects. And so we had all of the clubs on Oahu sign up, and they brought their friends and families, interactors, Rotaractors, and we did this project on Oahu.
Oh, very nice. And how many Rotarians were there, would you guess?
Well, we went weekends, right? So
Right.
sometimes we were limited to only 10.
Okay.
And if we spread out, maybe 20. And actually, because the forest, the legacy forest, they dig the holes for us with a machine. We could actually plant 1,000 trees in 2 hours with 20 people.
Wow, that's impressive. Very good. By the way, I run a landscape business, so if you're ever looking for a job, let me know. We'll hire you. And the next photo, I believe it's a poster shot. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Tell us about
So
this one.
this one is on Maui, and on Maui, their project was just awesome. They decided to do fruit trees. So on that top middle, Mariko Higashi is our assistant governor, and she helped coordinate this. And so they got donations from the mainland, from Japan, Rotarians all over the state to buy the trees. And they found individual houses, nonprofits, churches, community groups that took the trees, and they helped them plant it. And of course, they had to be blessed. So we had a kahu. A kahu is like an elder, like a pastor. He blessed the trees to make sure that they grew. But 1,000 fruit trees on Maui. They also did another 2,000 saplings that they gave out, and they will continue to do that. So this is 9 clubs on Maui that came together to do this project on Maui.
Wow, so it's not only the labor, also you have to fundraise the project to buy the trees and the saplings. That's great. And what was the cost, if you wouldn't mind me asking, per sapling? You remember offhand what that was?
No, I don't know how much they had to raise.
Okay, no problem.
But for the one on Oahu, because we partnered with the Legacy Hardwoods people, they covered the cost of the
nice.
saplings
Okay.
and the maintenance. They maintain these trees, so the survival rate is very high. Because when you plant trees, if you don't take care of it, you don't water it, it's going to die, or somebody's going to eat it, right? Some animal's going to eat it. I just learned in Arizona they have this thing called javelinas. We've got pigs here, so the Legacy Forest people, they take care of the trees and they maintain. So they want to make sure that the trees will last forever. So the land is on private property. Okay. So when the tree gets old and falls by natural causes, the landowner gets the tree to use, and Legacy Forest will plant another tree in its place.
Oh, very nice. So it's a good partnership you found, probably, I'm sure, working with them.
Oh, by the way, Wade, some of the trees have RFIDs on them, so you can purchase a tree. So say you want to dedicate it to a family member that you lost or someone's birthday. With the RFID, it identifies that tree, and you can go on a map and see exactly where your tree is.
Oh, that is nice. That's a good idea, great idea. The next picture you have shows, I believe, okay, it's your workforce.
This is one of the groups, and the ones in the purple, they're from Farrington High School. So we had high school groups helping us as well. So see, we have to kind of spread out.
Well, looking at the picture that was behind you, you got a large area to work with, so that helped a lot. Oh, this is great. So you included basically all generations.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's a great project. Outstanding. And I'm guessing this is one of the Rotaractors?
That actually is the president of our Rotary Club, Rotary Club of West Honolulu. He's our current president.
Good, good. I figured that one. I just wanted to make points with your club, that's all. That's great.
You.
So he was the one organizing. Now, what size is your club? How many members do you have?
We have 45.
Okay.
Most of them are rule of 75 or 85. So
Okay.
we have to bring in our partners with Interact and friends and family.
Nice. Oh, very nice. When you did this, the members, you said they bring in families and friends. How many of them were family or friends as opposed to members of your club? Were you about 50-50? I'm looking at it for a reach out opportunity.
Well, if we count our Rotaractors and Interactors, I think maybe it's 60-40.
Okay, nice. Very good. Okay, then the next picture you have, I believe, is a picture of the actual completed one, or one that has been done.
Yeah, the trees are a little larger. These Milo trees grow pretty fast.
Okay, and do you know how long that orchard had been in place?
That actually is the same one back here.
Oh, wow. Okay, so fairly recent then.
Hmm.
Okay, and those trees, tell us a little bit about the trees. What type are they?
They're Milo trees. They have an orange flower that kind of changes in the morning. It's one color and it changes colors.
Oh,
The leaves are a little bigger, so a lot more oxygen, I guess, coming from the trees.
cool.
And they grow pretty fast and straight up.
Okay, and they're indigenous to the area.
Yes, correct.
Okay, okay. And then how big do they get? Do you know how large they get once they get mature?
They get about maybe 30 feet.
Okay.
They're not tall like the other trees in the way in the background here.
Yeah.
Not that tall.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Okay, and we have a few more pictures, I believe.
So in June, the Legacy Forest people dedicated our area as a Rotary forest. And here's our dedication. And we had a kahu. So kahu is like a priest. And whenever we go into forest, we make sure we ask permission to be there from the ancestors, the spirits that are there. So here the kahu is blessing the area, and he has blessed water that he sprinkles around the place, and he says a prayer. And you know what was really cool is when he was doing the prayer, the Oli, there was a gentle breeze that came through, and that for us is the ancestors, the spirits that are coming to see what we're doing and to give us an okay that we are okay to be there. That
Wow,
was pretty cool.
that is great. Outstanding. Now, the properties you're planting these on, are they private property, public lands?
They're private.
Okay.
And so it's actually a big church that owns it. They didn't have any use for it, but they wanted to make sure that they had trees growing on it. And so they did the partnership with Legacy Forest. So Legacy Forest leases the area, and the trees, once they die, they go back to the landowner.
Okay. Okay, got it. And you got one more photo, I believe, that we have in the set.
Okay, so that's at the dedication, and Pili in the white was the president of the Eco Club, and she was the one who coordinated the volunteers, made sure that we have plantings continuously to make sure that we got enough. We wanted to reach 10,000 trees, but we couldn't do it because of COVID. But Pili worked really hard to coordinate all of the volunteers and make sure that we did this project and we completed what we wanted to do. And we're still continuing to plant trees every quarter. So she still oversees it now.
Oh, very good. So it's going to be an ongoing thing. Now, are you going to stop at 10,000 or are you going to keep going?
We want to keep going.
Good, good for you. All right. As far as engagement and involvement, how did your members receive this project? Did they enjoy it?
Oh my gosh, they had so much fun. They loved this project, and they wanted to join us because, but we had limitations on how many people. But they signed up. They were on waiting list. They really enjoyed this project because you're outdoors. When we're in COVID, you want to be outdoors, right? But just to have that feeling that you did something and you can see how much we did and it's making a difference. And before this project, we had a lot of webinars on newsletters on what the benefit of planting trees. We wanted to have a really good awareness of why we needed to do this. And that's why people really bought into this project. They knew that it was important, and we wanted them to also plant trees in their own homes and property.
Great, outstanding. And what do you think about the PR of it? Did you do a good job? Do you think it was well received by the community? Did you get a lot of press time for that?
Yes, we had press time. I think we could have used more, but we were on TV doing interviews maybe twice about the project. We had a press release. I think a lot of the clubs did their social postings on Facebook and Twitter because they just wanted to show their pictures working on this project. So the community knew what we're doing. Legacy Hardwoods does a monthly newsletter, and they featured us. And that video that you're going to be seeing has made its round in many places. No,
it's an excellent video. Actually, let's go ahead and jump to that video. I'll take a look at it because it was something impressed me. And I appreciate you saying yes to letting us show it.
Sure.
Plant me a coa tree. Don't you cry for me. Plant me a coa tree. Don't you cry for me. You touched all the people with your music. You brought the people of Hawaii together with your magical Hawaiian voice.
This is what Hawaii is about, all coming together. That's what this is evidence of, is that we can all come together and do something good. So amazing.
If we want to do something that actually is gonna start making change right now, is to plant trees. Like they help with water retention, they help also with cooling down the temperature. So the benefits of planting trees are just infinite. We have been just like giving them for granted.
You know, one tree at a time, we can make a difference.
So with 1 million people in Hawaii, if each person just planted a single tree, that'd be 1 million trees. If we did that for every child that was born, that small effort can really add up to a big, impactful project.
That's what Rotary's about. It's service above self. And so here we're to serve not only ourselves for doing good, but also to help the people of Hawaii and the planet.
So plant me a coa tree. Don't you cry for me.
Opportunities like this to have Rotary out in the community. We want to invite other people to come and join us and be part of these efforts. And it's fun. It is fun.
I think this is about the most fabulous thing that has happened on the planet in 100 million years.
It was absolutely fantastic. We love doing this. It's a great project.
Plant a coa tree.
I think that doing something good for the world as well for yourself is very important. And people who choose to be Rotarians have this desire to do so. And that's a big part of why they're here today. Well, in here, it feels good. It feels fulfilling. It feels like we can give thanks back to not just, each other, our community, but for the world. And in here,
we need trees. Without trees, we get all this soil runoff that destroys our coral reefs. So trees are so vital. Trees help keep our reefs alive. Trees keep air in our atmosphere, and they keep the birds, the bees, and all the animals that belong here where they should be. And so the other thing that trees are really doing is they're taking all the carbon from the air and the pollution that we create in our planes and our hotels and our cars, and it puts it right back to where it belongs. As we sequester carbon for every tree that we plant, we know that we're doing a good thing for our world and our environment.
What I like is bringing the community together, because when the project is owned by the community, they care more about it and they are more aware of the changes that need to happen.
So this is what people get. We built a forest.
They'll hold up for everyone. Come on, plant me.
It's unbelievable, the power of human beings and what we can do when we set our minds to something.
Okay, trees on board, 1, 2, 3, 4! Trees!
So really want to thank all of the Rotarians that make a difference in the world, that make a difference for the people that we serve. And you can join the movement for Rotary.
That is a great video. Naomi, thank you very much for sharing that one. It shows what kind of impact you've had. I mean, that is outstanding. So tell us a little bit about if somebody else wanted to replicate that, how would they get a hold of you or get in touch with you, or maybe possibly a website?
Okay. Well, Legacy Hardwoods, you can look it up on the internet, Legacy Hardwoods or Legacy Reforestation, it'll come up.
Okay.
But info@rotaryd5000.org is my email address,
Okay.
info@rotaryd5000.org. And I can let you know, I can put you in touch with the people. I'm not sure if they have areas on the mainland that you can do this, but they can maybe share the idea on what they're doing, because they've been around for 25 years. They've been doing these reforestation projects on several of the islands, and they really want to make sure that they can plant a lot of trees, because it's so important for our planet, our state, to have trees.
So I take it you are really embracing that new 7th area focus, supporting our environment. Was this actually planned as part of that idea, or was it something that you as a governor wanted to accomplish?
Both.
Okay.
The 7th area for environment, we've always been looking at climate change and how it's affecting our islands, with the seawater rising and our shorelines eroding. So we've always been looking at it. And so when Rotary added the 7th area of focus, yippee, we can do more. But yes, I wanted to make a difference for us, but even without being a governor, Rotarians jump in where there's a need, whether we're a governor, a president. Some people just want to be in the background doing good for the world. And when you find a project like this where you're making a difference and it's fun, it's a bonus.
Yeah, that's great. No, you hit a gold mine on that one. That's outstanding. Now, you were talking to me before about some other projects, also environment related. You share that now if you'd like. Talk to us about one of the other projects you've been doing there.
Okay. Well, in April, so we usually do a Rotary Gives Thanks in November. All of the clubs do a project. And we always like to work together. So Shaker's doing Rotary Days. We're doing Rotary Days already. In April, we do a Rotarians at Work Day on a Saturday where all of the clubs do something. And so again, the Eco Club said, hey, let's go pick up plastics in the ocean, because in Hawaii, a lot of the plastics come up to our shore and get dumped there. So we asked all of the clubs to go find areas that needed help. It could be on the ridge on the mountain. It could be on the ocean or in the reefs, because our reefs get a lot of plastics as well. So we picked a day, we organized it. We got people to just do all of these locations around the islands and report back. So one area was on a private reserve, a refuge, and it hasn't been open for a long time, but that is the dirtiest place on the island, where that mound of plastic in the ocean that's floating around piles up there. So they, with 10 people, picked up 2,000 pounds of rubbish.
Wow.
But we went all over the state picking up rubbish or especially plastics. And also we did an inventory. So we wanted to see what kind of plastics we're picking up and the weight of it, so that we can kind of go back and track and see how the rubbish is piling up on our shores. So that was another fun one that we did.
It sounds like a lot of work, but good for you. 2,000 pounds, wow, that is a lot of debris. So with this going on, do you think as your clubs get more involved with the environment, that's going to become one of your priorities, or do you see that as just in addition to all of the other good things you're doing in the community?
In addition,
Okay.
Rotary has 5 avenues of service. We've got 7 focus areas. People have different interests. So you do what you want to, what makes a difference for you. And so we have a big group of people that are interested in peace. We have this Saturday, a webinar on eliminating nuclear weapons from the world.
Oh, okay.
So we have a peace group, we've got the environment group, we've got a big youth service group. So, whatever interests you is what we want to do, because, people have different interests.
Interesting and outstanding. So as diverse as the islands themselves, that's outstanding. Good for you. When you did the tree planting project, you said that was done on every island. So was that the case, and how much impact did all the islands have from this project?
Well, the one on Maui had a big impact with the fruit trees. On the Big Island, they planted. Well, the Hilo Club made 100 years old, right? So they wanted to do at least 100, but we had other clubs as well planting trees. So they selected the place. We wanted to do trees on the Volcano National Park, but they weren't open. On Kauai, there was a grove that wanted trees, but because of COVID, they did it themselves, but we kind of lit the fire on them. So the major islands all had a project going.
Oh, that's great. Question then, if you did it on Volcano, there's specific areas where plants just don't grow, so I assume you picked the places where you would have vegetation.
Yes.
And I see water being also an issue. If you don't have water, it would be a tough one.
Yeah, and on the Big Island, there are a lot of places that don't have running water. They have catchment systems. But because after the lava goes and the vegetation comes back, we need to put back the plants. And we have a lot of indigenous plants that need to be repopulated on the national park area.
Great. So what is your next plan or projects after this there? You guys have anything?
We have a lot of things going, but this Gunstock Ranch, this is where the pasture land was, so it was trampled over, and this is where we needed to put, but actually the property goes all the way to the top of the mountain. So there's a lot more place that we can plant trees. We're talking to other people on the Big Island for planting trees. Do you know Steve Yoshida? He was a PDG. Okay, so he's got a peace garden, a big, I think it's 3 acres. And so we're asking him, if he'd like to do the same kind of project on his property.
That sounds good. Him and I are involved with the Peace Tree Project from Hiroshima. So,
that's right. That's right.
Well, Naomi, thank you very much. Mahalo for joining us. It's been a great one. Sharing your project is something that I'm sure the viewers really enjoyed. And we look forward to coming over and seeing you. That's kind of an excuse for me to get over there. So
thank you.
Thank you very much.
2027, the convention will be in Hawaii.
That's right, but I'm not going to wait that long. We'll see you before that.
Okay.
Okay, Naomi, well, thank you again very much for sharing that one. Outstanding project, and keep up the good work. With that, everybody, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'd love for you to go and visit, maybe plant a few trees of your own in Hawaii. With that, look up Naomi. She shared her email with you. So, Naomi, thank you very much. Everybody,
thank you.
We will see you all next time.
Thank you.